Hello all, today I will be discussing the SNAP program in Kansas and is it enough? SNAP, formerly the Food Stamp Program, is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It is a federal government program and is funded by the federal government. SNAP provides food purchasing assistance to low-income or no-income people and families. The program is administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture under the Food and Nutrition Service. Benefits are distributed by states however they see fit through specific departments such as the Division of Social Services and the Department of Health and Human Services. The Great Depression set SNAP into motion, and the first food stamps came off the press April 20th, 1939. Food stamps came in a paper booklet with different colors for each denomination. They were torn out and used like cash. This program stopped in the late 1940s but was revived by President Johnson. Johnson called for a permanent food stamp program in 1964 as part of his war on poverty. Since 1964, the program has changed often with each new administration, including cuts and qualification changes. Food stamps were used until the late 90s when they were phased out and replaced by EBT. Electronic benefit transfer cards are used like any other debit card and can be used at supermarkets, convenience stores, other food retailers, and even some farmers markets and meatpacking plants. During the Great Recession of 2007, as well as through COVID, we saw an increase in funding to these types of programs. In 2019, the College Student Hunger Act was introduced. The program is intended to help students who are Pell Grant eligible, but as of 1 year ago, it still has not been passed. So how do you qualify? SNAP is a means-tested program based on income and assets. To qualify, you must earn a gross monthly income that is 130% or less of the federal poverty line. Through my research, I have found significant differences between states, so I feel that having things based on a federal level may not apply evenly to everyone. So for an individual to qualify, you must make less than $1,245 gross monthly. And for a household of 4, you must earn less than $2,552 gross monthly. You are allowed up to $2,250 in bank accounts, and if at least one household member is over 60 and or disabled, you can have up to $3,500 in countable resources, which means assets or personal property. All qualifying home income is based on the gross income. How do you calculate benefits? The Thrifty Food Plan is used to determine SNAP benefits. The Thrifty Food Plan is calculated based on the cost of groceries needed to provide a healthy, budget-conscious diet for a household of 2 adults and 2 children, and also includes a cost of living adjustment. Maximum allotments are updated each year in June and take effect October 1st. Prior to the cost of living adjustment of 2023, it was found that SNAP benefits did not cover the cost of meals in 99% of U.S. counties. Also, the national average meal cost 71 cents more than the average maximum benefit. Furthermore, the gap was found to be larger in urban areas than in rural areas. In my opinion, this gap between urban and rural is maybe because rural people are more likely to raise their own meat, have chickens for eggs, plant gardens, those kind of things. What is considered to be poverty in Kansas? What do you think when you hear the word poverty? I picture the homeless population or like a 1930s child playing in the filthy streets being just skin and bones. But the reality is that people in poverty are hardworking Americans simply unable to make ends meet. In Kansas, poverty looks like an individual that makes less than $1,215 monthly, a childless couple that makes less than $1,643 monthly, or a household of 3 or 4 making between $2,072 and $2,500 a month. Out of nearly 3 million Kansans, almost 334,000 of them live in poverty. This is 11.7% of our state that live below the poverty line. As a nation, 12.8% of all Americans live below the poverty line. I calculated my own monthly income and found that it is 72% of the federal poverty level. So where's the gap? I plugged in some of my own household numbers. Now, mind you, I did grow up in a household of 6 that was likely under the poverty level, so I know how to shop very thriftily. My average meal cost is around $2.45. This does not account for snacks that 2 growing kids eat, which seem to go out faster than I can keep them stocked. On an average summer day, consists of 3 meals per day, so roughly 90 meals per month. At this rate, I am spending $22.05 per day, and so then I spend approximately $662 a month on meals alone. As a single mom of 2 kids, my benefits are $335 a month. So as you can see, this leaves a gap of about $326 per month during the summer months. Of course, during school, they receive breakfast and lunch, and most of this summer, the school has free lunches available. So I live in Barton County, and our average meals are $2.85, of which SNAP covers $2.73. In Ellis County, where Fort Hays is, the average meal is $2.96, of which SNAP covers $2.73. I feel that a lot of this gap comes from using the gross income to qualify. Gross income is not what you are actually taking home from your paycheck. So essentially, the government or state agencies are looking at your gross income and basing benefits on them, and then removing the taxes in which they will use to, in return, pay you with food assistance programs. Also coming out after your gross income is the insurance you may pay, like through your payroll, as well as other services such as dental, vision insurance, Social Security, etc. So how does one continue receiving benefits, and how can you lose them? Also, who cannot apply for food assistance? Having applied for benefits myself, I know the process is tedious and timely. In my local office, you must enter a room and wait for someone to call you on an agency phone, and this process literally takes hours. Does this deter people who work 8 to 5 and simply don't have time to take hours out of their day? Is this why 1 in 6 kids is food insecure, but only 71% of those eligible receive assistance? Also, there is a ban on broad-based categorical qualification that would save so much time and work. Those with more than 1 drug-related felony need not apply. Once you receive benefits, there are many ways in which you can lose your eligibility. These are failure to follow administrative regulations and requirements. There is a 3-month limit on childless adults, even during times of high unemployment. You are required to cooperate with child support, which can lead to issues and abusive relationships. The inability of non-citizens to provide documentation of qualifying status. And these issues can literally tear families apart, as one study shows a link between access to anti-poverty support programs and foster care placement. So a few things to chew on. Do you feel that the qualifications are too lenient or too strict? I know there was talk for a while about removing some of the junk type foods from the EBT program. Do you feel that junk food should be removed, or should people be allowed to buy whatever they want? Should the College Student Hungry Act be passed? Do we have hungry college students out there who would qualify but are not able to because they haven't passed it yet? And should the application process be simplified? Is there just simply an easier way to do things? Now, these are my references that you can look over. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.